What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope you are doing well. In our last section, we went over our comments implementation, and that is looking really, really good. We now have the ability to comment on posts. What I want to start this video off with is how to implement our timestamp labels. And we're going to make a reusable extension for this so that we can use it in multiple places in the application, right? So we're going to want to use it on our posts as well as our comments. So we're going to be good coders here and write code for this in one place and reuse it in multiple surfaces across the application instead of writing the same code in multiple places and violating that DRY or don't repeat yourself principle. So we're going to start this off by going to our extensions folder, guys, and we are going to make a new file. And this is going to be an extension on the Firebase timestamp. So we're going to import Firebase up at the top, and we're going to say extension timestamp. Then we are going to make a function here called timestamp string, and it's going to return a string. So basically, guys, anytime we have a timestamp that's part of an object, for example, our post or our comment. So let's go and see our comment. We see we have a timestamp here, and our post has that as well, I believe. So if we go to our post, we have a timestamp for posts as well. We'll be able to just utilize this extension we're creating here and say dot timestamp string, which will convert it to a string for us. So we're going to say let formatter equal date components formatter. Then we're going to say formatter dot allowed units equals an array, and we're going to say dot second dot minute, comma dot hour dot day dot week of month. So I'm pretty sure this is how Instagram does it. You can either be seconds ago, minutes ago, hours ago, days ago, or some amount of weeks ago, right? It'll never say years ago for whatever reason. That's how they do it. Then we're going to say formatter dot maximum unit count equals 1. So if it's hours, guys, we just want the little h. If it's days, we want d. If it's s, we want seconds, or seconds, we want s. You guys get the picture. Then we're going to say formatter dot unit style equals dot abbreviated, and we are going to return formatter dot string from date components. We're going to say self dot date value to date, and if nothing comes back, that's optional. We're just going to return a blank string. Okay, so let's go and dive into this line of code a little bit more before we move forward. So guys, we are on an extension of timestamp. So when we say self, it's referring to timestamp. A lot of people get confused as to what self means in coding in general, but it's always referring to the class that you are nested within or the struct that you are nested within. So right now we're nested within a timestamp extension. So when we say self, it refers to date. When we say self, it refers to timestamp. And all timestamps have this date value function, which converts the timestamp to an actual Swift date object. So that's what we need to do in order to call this function here. So we're saying give us back a string from the timestamp's date value, whatever the timestamp is that we're looking at, and it's going to calculate the difference between that date and the current date to get the difference in time. So if something was made 6 hours ago, we look at the current date and the date that the or the date of the timestamp when the post was created, we calculate the difference, and this is going to give us back that string. So now let's go ahead and see how we can use this, guys. It's going to be super, super simple. We're just going to go back to, our comment cell, and we're going to replace this hard-coded 6 days with our comment.timestamp string. And then we are going to do the same thing on our post cell or feed cell. So I believe that's in our feed folder. We're going to go to view, and we see here that we have this hard-coded 6 hours ago. We're going to just say post.timestamp string. So now you guys are able to see how we created this amazing reusable extension that allows us to reuse that functionality in multiple surfaces of the application. We didn't need to write that timestamp string code in multiple places and copy and paste it in multiple places, right? Which violates that DRY or don't repeat yourself principle. So we just wrote this code in one place and we can reuse it in multiple places. That's a huge pro tip there for you guys. So that is going to wrap it up for that piece of functionality, guys. The next thing I want us to do is implement a constants structure. So basically, there's a lot of places in the app where we have to say firestore, whatever, like we see here, collection post and comments and all this stuff. So I want to just clean this up into like a constants file. So guys, let's go ahead and I think we need to make a utils folder. So I'm going to collapse all these. Yep. So on your main project folder, let's go ahead and create one more folder and call it utils. And this just is short for utilities. And I think we're going to put it right below services. And we're going to make a guy here that's a Swift file. And it's going to be called constants. So we're going to make a struct here called Firebase constants. And here we can just say import Firebase. And we're going to say static let root equal firestore.firestore. And I believe that's it, right? So this is the root of our database. So we are going to create constants for all of the collections we have in our application, and it's all going to build off of this root. So what I mean by that is let's make another property here, static let users collection, and we can say root.collection users, just like that. And then we can say static let posts collection equal root.collection posts, right? So that's all we're going to have for now. Let's go to our database and make sure we don't have anything else. So yeah, we just have posts and users for now. And guys, to do a really quick cleanup, I'm going to show you a really nice trick that Xcode offers. It's a find and replace. So basically, we want to take everywhere we have firestore.firestore.collection users or something like that, right? Huh. It's nowhere. Maybe I spelled something wrong. I guess we can just go and do this manually. I think it's because we have a bunch of things indented on different lines. But anyway, let's see if we go to like our user service. Yeah, so I think it's not showing up because it looks like this. Everything is on new lines. But anyway, guys, all we need to do is go here and say Firebase constants. And then we can replace these two with users collection. And this isn't just to clean up code, guys. This is actually going to make our code less error prone. So every time you have to type this out, there is a chance that you spell users wrong, or you accidentally capitalize it, or you only say user and not users. And there's just a lot of possibility and potential for human error here. And this is just going to help us minimize or reduce those chances for error. So nice little cleanup there. So let's just go ahead and see everywhere that exists. So let's just search for .collection users like that. Okay. So we have a bunch here, right? So here, let's go ahead and replace this with Firebase constants.users collection. And let me just copy and paste this in everywhere else we need it. So another place, edit profile view model. Boom. And let's just keep going. Boom. And that is in our user service. So that's looking good. Post service, we got that again. So we got that for our post likes. We can replace that there. Replace that there. And replace this here. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I think we got one more, yeah, but obviously that's, we're not changing that in our Firebase constant struct. Now, guys, let's do the same thing for posts. So much less here. So here we're going to say Firebase constants dot post collection. And same thing here. Firebase constants dot post collection. So there's another, we can also, add some functionality to like get to this comments collection as well. But that's going to need to be a function, right? Because that depends on a post ID. So we would have to know what the post ID is in order to get that, but we're not going to be doing that now. I think this is good enough for now. We could maybe come back to that a little bit later on. Let's just keep going with our posts collection stuff, guys. So we're going to go here and paste that in. Oops, nope, we want that to be post collection. Make sure you guys get those right. Firebase constants.post collection, looking good. Okay, so here, yeah, I guess we could keep that as a property up at the top and just replace this with Firebase constants.post collection. Right, because we're using that in quite a few places, and that's actually better to just store it as a property up there. Okay, so that's looking really good, guys. Let's go ahead and run our code. I forgot to test out the timestamp stuff. And let's just make sure the timestamp stuff is working and all of our other functionality is working as well. So we see here that I made this 15 weeks ago. Wow, that's pretty long. But now if we go to our comments, we can see that all of those timestamps look really, really good, right? 1 day ago, 51 minutes, 49 minutes, 47 minutes, 46 minutes. So that is looking absolutely beautiful, guys. Let's just go ahead and add another comment just to make sure that this still works. Test comment 7, post. And we see that it's from 0 seconds ago. So that looks great, right? And you guys could test this out by adding another post as well if you'd like. But I think this is looking really good for now, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this video. In the next one, we are going to get started with what we need to do to actually start following users and ultimately display people's posts in our feed that we follow, not just like a global feed. So that's what we're going to be getting started with next. So get excited for that, guys. We'll see you there. Peace.